The thing that we really aspire to constantly is quality.
I often face excuses and attacks from Disney files because they know deep down, in places they don't talk about at watch parties for The Acolyte, Disney's ownership of Star Wars has caused an unprecedented decline. Hundreds continue to defend Kennedyfilm in spite of reality, which is the crux of this video. A few weeks ago, one of these apologists overstepped, and as I read the hostile comments, I thought, this one separated itself from the herd, so I have a right, nay, a responsibility, to uphold the natural order. Here's a taste to whet your appetite.
Disney Star Wars is actually doing really well and has made Disney a ton of profit. That is fact.
Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
I'm guessing you have not seen the prequels, as those are truly subpar films that proved Lucas had lost his touch.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
There is no unsuitable messaging or virtue signaling going on.
I'm in denial.
Dear viewers, allow me to introduce Alex, my inspiration for this video. I've changed their name and, as you can tell, I've applied plural pronouns because I suspected they'd want it that way. Alex cherishes Star Wars in the Kennedyfilm era, and apparently after experiencing my channel, they couldn't contain themselves. I hope they will astound and entertain you as they astounded and entertained me. Expect neither civility nor reason from them, but enjoy several minutes of pure copium. Next. Welcome to Galactic Initiative. I'm your host, Jeff. On October 7th, I published Like What You Like, The Defense of Shills, a 6-minute video about the rationale for false praise that benefits Kennedyfilm and its bloodsuckers. Link in the description. The video triggered Alex, a freelance writer who appreciates Kennedyfilm's, treatment of Star Wars. Note, their grammar and punctuation were poor. I'll read corrected versions of their comments, so their meaning won't be lost on you. However, I'll display the originals lest anyone accuse me of misrepresentation. Remember, Alex is a freelance writer.
I've been looking forward to this.
You have one hell of a truly toxic ego. Because you don't like it, no one can honestly like that same thing. Because your opinions are the only ones that matter. That is ego, nothing more. I get out to conventions and have honest, actual conversations with a wide variety of fans. And for the most part, they are enjoying Skeleton Crew and The Acolyte.
Pause. Beyond Alex's fraction of a subset, who enjoyed The Acolyte? Viewership and merch sales, not so much. Season 2, not happening. And, according to streaming data, regardless of qualitative assessment, Skeleton Crew hasn't attracted a large audience. It remains to be seen whether or not interest will accrue. Pardon my pun. From the 2017 edition of Kennedyfilm's Gaslighting Playbook, Alex opened with 2 classics, Egotism and Toxicity. Page 276, paragraph 3.
Labeling sidesteps criticism, claims moral superiority, and reverses initiative. It is the first step toward cancellation.
Alex continued.
No one should be doing, let alone justifying, gatekeeping. That is a true sign of a toxic fan and should never be tolerated. Like What You Like is how real fans show respect to each other.
So, on Alex's authority, when Kathleen Kennedy applies insistent pressure from behind and whispers,
Let it happen,
the Star Wars fanbase should lie down to show its gratitude.
I don't mind if things get sloppy.
Gatekeeping by lifelong fans as both bulwark and protest should never be tolerated. Like What You Like should excuse shills from their complicity. My comeback. When Disney Kennedyfilm subverts the extraordinary work of George Lucas, markets subpar entertainment for a premium price, destroys a once unsurpassable line of toys and other products, uses Star Wars to promote a socio-political program, crams unsuitable messaging and stories for children and young adults, neglects loyal fans in favor of virtue signaling, and dismisses legitimate criticism as extreme, divisive, racist, and bigoted. When shills, whose only priorities are money and exclusive access, publish fraudulent reviews and attempt to label, gaslight, and threaten fans as quid pro quos. When you ignore objective metrics, such as viewership and merch sales, because they invalidate your feelings, dismiss me as toxic without debate, and assert my perspective, despite reasoned analysis with evidence, should never be tolerated, expect a response. Disney Kennedyfilm, Shills, and you will be subject to gatekeeping, i.e. called to account for all the aforementioned foulness. Like What You Like is not how real fans show respect. It is avoidance at best, and, at worst, support for Disney Kennedyfilm's awful management of Star Wars. For proof of all references, explore my channel. Star Wars fans are well aware of the problems with Kennedyfilm. I've covered them in detail for years. By contrast, Alex doesn't acknowledge a single care. Well, except me. The cope is strong with this one.
That was a jumble of pure toxic and egotistical BS. Once more, your opinions are not shared by all the fans. Disney Star Wars is actually doing really well and has made Disney a ton of profit. That is fact.
No, your ears don't deceive you. Allow me to repeat the last two sentences.
Disney Star Wars is actually doing really well and has made Disney a ton of profit. That is fact.
Don't worry, it'll get worse. Alex targeted George Lucas.
I'm guessing you have not seen the prequels, as those are truly subpar films that proved Lucas had lost his touch. Go and look up what Lucas wanted for the sequels, and see if any of that sounds like it would make for good entertainment. One of the elements Kennedyfilm kept from Lucas's ideas was Luke being a hermit that disconnected himself from the Force, which upset the toxic fans greatly.
Pause. The prequels are subpar films? Lucas lost his touch? I don't have much to add here. Prequel fans, have at them. I'm not surprised Alex prefers Kennedyfilm's sequel trilogy to George Lucas's outlines for the sequel trilogy. How do they feel about Kennedyfilm's socio-political approach to Star Wars?
There is no unsuitable messaging or virtue signaling going on. That is a load of crap that fragile baby men have spit out because they are way too easily made to feel insecure. Sorry, but giving a marginalized group representation is not a bad thing. And while there are legitimate issues that deserve criticism, the issues you are focused on are bigoted and toxic. I have never once dismissed legitimate criticism, unlike the toxic BS from bigots who are afraid of reality.
No unsuitable messaging or virtue signaling? Alex tried a straw man argument. They willfully misinterpreted opposition to messaging, virtue signaling, and ist and phobe attacks as opposition to so-called marginalized groups. Oh, the language of identity politics. Did I address representation or marginalization in my comeback? No. During their intended switcheroo, they intensified their name-calling for gaslighting purposes. To egotism and toxicity, they added immaturity, insecurity, and bigotry. I mentioned bigotry, so a half-point deduction for appropriation.
As for your metrics, they are given from your side with little, if any, reality to what is really going on. Viewership numbers are a tricky thing right now, and too often you toxic fans are only looking at the smallest of samples that are far from the complete picture. As for merch sales, that is a problem right now for every franchise. Toy sales in general are significantly down and still on a huge decline.
More insults, I'll skip ahead, but you can read the entirety on the screen if you wish.
I get out into the real world and talk to many actual fans who are loving what Disney has done. I've moderated panels at several conventions where we talk about Star Wars, and while there are those who agree with you, they have not once been the majority. And in those panels, we have had very respectful exchanges agreeing with the like what you like mentality.
Okay, my turn.
Your delusion is remarkable. Star Wars under Disney Kennedyfilm is suffering a slow, painful death. Where are the paying customers? Where is the merch? Films. When will we see second seasons of Kenobi, The Acolyte, and The Book of Boba Fett? Why can't the streaming series attract viewers? Why did the High Republic fail? Why did the Galactic Star Cruiser fail? Why doesn't Hasbro make sequel toys? Why did Walmart and Target shrink their Star Wars sections to 3 feet and remove the dedicated signage? Why is Ollie's bursting with clearance items from the Young Jedi Adventures? Why cancel so many announced projects? Where's Lando? Where's droids? Where are young fans? Halloween costumes? Where is the pop culture influence? Since you make ridiculous comments about my videos, you must have access to the internet. Conduct research. You repeat the typical shill attacks that I just flagged in my previous response. You claim real-world experience, but you seem to interact only with like-mindedness. You insult Lucas for episodes 1 through 3, as if Lucas's mistakes justify Disney Kennedyfilm's calamities. Note, by mistakes I meant Lucas's writing, not storytelling. Even I won't defend his dialogue in Attack of the Clones. I concluded with advice for Alex. Go moderate a panel for The Acolyte. I'm sure Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy will appreciate your support. Alas, no further comments. I posed many unanswerable questions for a person whose thought process goes no deeper than Kennedyfilm good, haters bad. Extrinsic validation, groupthink, echo chambers. These forces can have a strong influence on the weak-minded. And today's harmful combination of social media and identity politics encourages the dismissal of competing ideas to avoid cognitive dissonance, to spare individuals from critical assessments of their beliefs and feelings, because critical assessments might necessitate change, and change is difficult.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
I hope you enjoyed this trip through a Shill's brain. Alex and their ilk will back Kennedyfilm regardless of the facts. They prefer to dismiss rather than debate. Alex, if you're out there, put down that YA novel from the High Republic and take a long, hard look at your life choices. Everyone else, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.
I need your help, son.
Check out Galactic Initiative for honest takes on Star Wars.
Galactic Initiative is not authorized or endorsed by Lucasfilm Limited. The name Star Wars and all related materials are registered trademarks of Lucasfilm Limited, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, all rights reserved. Galactic Initiative is a registered trademark, and other product and company names are trademarks of their respective holders. Use does not imply affiliation or endorsement.